I have started taking photography seriously when I came here in the UK 6 months ago as a university student, and the Sony Alpha 6400 is my primary camera that I have been using for 6 months. I have taken roughly around 10,000 photos, and it's the same camera that I'm shooting on right now. This is the camera that I used day-to-day basis. This is the camera that got me my first job. This is the camera I used to shoot a lot of events, but after one point it started feeling like a job rather than something fun. So at that point I started experimenting with other cameras like this. So this is Fujifilm Instax Mini 9, which shoots instant film, something like this. I have had a lot of fun shooting with this camera. I have shot around 100 photos, which is really not that much, but a lot considering how expensive the films for this camera is. Then I bought another Fujifilm camera, which is this one. It's a point and shoot, and it was a complete coincidence. I also had fun shooting with this, but it's still not good enough to replace my Sony. I really wanted something that can make me feel excited about taking photos, so that's where this camera comes in. This is Fujifilm x100s, and here are the 5 reasons I bought it. A lot of the cameras in the market right now, they come in black color, something like this. It's ugly, it's boring, I don't like it. That is the reason I bought a pink camera. It's something different, looking for something that looked like this, and it could replace my Sony a6400 as my primary. You get a shutter speed dial, you got an exposure compensation dial, your aperture can be adjusted using the ring next to the focus ring. You can customize this button to change the ISO settings. You got this dial to switch between the rangefinder and the viewfinder. You got the buttons on the side to switch between manual and autofocus, and it's just beautiful. Fujifilm x100s is not really smaller than my camera. The dimensions of both cameras are really similar, but the lens on this camera, it really makes a difference. It's a 23mm pancake lens, which is really small. My Sony is far superior in terms of quality and the lens options to this camera, but I can put it in my pocket, go outside, act as a tourist, and just enjoy taking photos. So on my Sony, I have never used my viewfinder. It has a tilt screen, which means I can just hold my camera above my head or below my waist, and I can still see the image on the screen. So I never needed to use the viewfinder. Fujifilm Instax 9, it introduced me to optical viewfinder. There's just a hole through the camera which you can look through, and you kinda have to guess what kind of photos it will produce. And on this camera, it has a hybrid viewfinder. You can use this switch to toggle between electrical viewfinder and the optical viewfinder. When you are using the optical viewfinder, it kind of shows you the final image that you will get using a rectangle. It's not that accurate, but you kind of have an idea of the final image that you will get, which is also a trait of film camera. So you go out, you take a photo, and you don't really know how it will look. It adds up to the excitement of photography. The autofocus on my Sony camera is really good, it's extremely quick. I never really had to use the manual focus, and I didn't bother to use it, but I still wanted to learn, so that's where this camera comes in. It still has the autofocus, but it's not as advanced. It's really slow, it's wacky, it takes too long to focus. You can just use a manual focus. And it also has a rangefinder, which means if you are on the manual focus mode, it shows distance at which the camera is focusing, which is really helpful. So it's a really slow camera which makes you think, which makes you slow down before taking a picture, which I think can help you become a better photographer. This Fujifilm, I got it from a local second-hand store and I wasn't really expecting anything out of it, but one thing that really surprised me is the film overlay that this camera has. They are really basic ones, not that advanced, but the colors straight out of camera, they are really pleasant. You don't have to edit the photos, you can directly post it on Instagram and that's all, which is the same case with this camera. But you get a lot more options, you can customize the overlays, you can play around, you can see what you like. If you don't like something, you can adjust them. So it's really fun. I'm gonna make another video about using the film overlays, customizing them. So watch out for that one. And that's about it. That's why I love this camera and I don't think that I'm gonna stop using it for a while. It's compact, it's fun, it takes really good pictures. That's about it. Why I bought the Fujifilm x100s.